Hello and welcome to Fresh Face One Shots. My name is Joey.
And I'm Jacob.
And today we are back with Batman the Brave and the Bold. Today we have a bunch of new stories starting up and one story finishing. So
yeah,
there's that. Slightly misleading cover here. Batman never shows up in the Nightwing story. That's not a bad thing. It's just slightly misleading, I think. But you gotta put Batman on the cover, I suppose. So
yeah.
But we've got a great set of stories here today. Actually, I really enjoyed all of them. I think so.
An interesting set of stories. Almost all part ones, though.
Yep.
I wonder.
See, I wonder. Okay, so if they're all part ones this time, because we were talking about this before recording, I wonder if Artemis is being replaced by the Lois Lane story finally next time.
Maybe, but looking up.
But I genuinely can't remember where Lois is coming back in the solicits. I know I read it somewhere, and I can't remember where. So
looking it up real quickly, it's the solicits are saying in issue 14, the Poison Within has its finale next time, which.
It definitely ended this time.
Yeah, like that was.
It's over. So clearly, the solicits when they were put out were sort of messed up. I mean, Brave and the Bold solicits have always been messed up ever since Winning Card. We really can't take those things at face value, I would say. But let's get into our first story here. This is Nightwing and Deadman Down the Road, which I did not realize was going to be drawn by Kelly fucking Jones. Oh my god!
Yeah, it's Kelly Jones drawing. Tim Seeley's writing.
Yep, Tim Seeley. We got to read his Nightwing run someday. It's a fantastic Nightwing run.
He's the Rebirth.
The Rebirth run. Yep.
Yes. We need to do a Nightwing one.
We do.
A Nightwing run at some time.
I think every Rebirth Nightwing run has been good, except for whoever the fuck took over from Seeley. I can't remember who it was now. Shit. Anyway, but yeah, let's get into this. First off, I mean, Kelly Jones art. What's not to love?
It is like.
I think anytime Kelly Jones draws, this is the second time we've actually had Kelly Jones draw a Brave and the Bold story. It just looks like a '90s comic again. I just associate the Kelly Jones style with '90s comics, and
what's nice is that they don't like the ink. Well, Jones is doing the inks as well. Which is also helping, but also the colors aren't trying to be the modern color style. It's like, no, I'm being tasked with coloring a Kelly Jones story.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. They let the inks take over a lot, which is really nice.
Yeah, a lot of blacks, a lot of dark blues. It helps make a lot of the pops of color because. There's some great pops of color in this one.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I love this first sequence when he finds the woman standing on top of the building, and it's just a really striking image. First off, there's this red ribbon almost looking thing around her her face and body, and it's really striking.
Makes her then look eyeless, it makes her look eyeless. There's a lot of great imagery. We have also I love when they're. I don't want to just gush over the art because, we could be here all day gushing over Kelly Jones's art.
Yeah, but the narration is
characterizes Dick really well.
Yeah, I mean, not a surprise. I mean, this is your first time with Tim Seeley, of course. So, not a surprise for those that are aware of his work. Really gets Dick Grayson. Puts a lot of focus on just Dick as sort of like this wandering soul, which I really, really love.
And I really like this fine line that this story is making between sort of the real and the magical, because there's this woman. It looks like she's going to jump, and then turns out she's not real. So Dick jumps after her, and he is falling to the ground off of a skyscraper. Dislocates his shoulder, and that impact! Look,
yeah,
you can feel that impact.
Oh yeah,
and to try to figure out what's going on, Dick gets help first from Barbara, who was nice to see for a panel. I know that's also because it's supposed to be right before Night Terrors.
Yes, which is obviously important because if you read Night Terrors, you can't exactly do a current Deadman story right now.
Yeah.
At least without acknowledging what happened in Night Terrors.
But it's also putting us in the middle of Taylor's Nightwing.
Yes, yeah, some of those.
Yeah.
That when Taylor was really examining the relationship between Dick and Babs, so that works. We see Zatanna here for a moment. We see fucking John Constantine actually.
Which is a reference to Etrigan, I think.
Oh, totally, yeah. Zatanna's like maybe the demon. He's mostly not evil, so that's fun. But then Dick becomes aware of this man standing under a lamppost, and sort of mysteriously Dick begins to investigate this, and eventually coming out of the body of this man is Deadman himself. And fucking, I know we said we wouldn't spend this segment talking about Kelly Jones art, but fucking Kelly Jones drawing Deadman, holy shit, it's so good. It's so fucking good. Oh my god, I love that. Next fucking level. It's so good. Really, gets into like what this sort of like ghost and like what it would like literally look like, or not even literally, but in very much in the Kelly Jones style. We see this sort of like we see Deadman's like sort of like skeletal like structure like from within his costume. It's a really cool way of drawing the character.
It's creepy. I like every page Deadman is on. It's something different, except for the flashbacks for obvious reasons. There's a brief flashback to his origin, because this entire thing is about travelers and the circus and
rightfully pairing these characters up, both being previous circus performers, both of which their careers both ended in tragedy, so different kinds of tragedy, and not really, both dead people falling from high places, so maybe similar tragedy. Dick's not dead, at that point.
Dick's not dead. A lot of this is also musings about that fear of falling and not looking down.
So much so, like it even gets like so much so it even gets that quote at the end of the Brave and the Bold issue that they always include. The oh god, what's the quote now? I forget. I just had it.
It is.
It's the thing about falling.
If I fall, may I never land.
That's it. That's the quote. Great quote to just sort of like just establish that. It's really nice. But yeah, Dick and Boston Brand go on an adventure together, and
trying to figure out something. Yeah. It's all very mysterious. This is very much laying the groundwork for. This is a multi-part story. We're going to see more of this next time. For sure, definitely 100% going to be in the next issue.
Yes, definitely.
This is the headliner. I have a feeling...
Winning Card was also the headliner, so we got like what 4 months straight of Joker on the cover with no Joker.
No Joker, yeah. But yeah, I hope this book's biggest problem is honestly just the amount of things that are being delayed.
Yeah, honestly, like I think. And I like, the amount you get in a single issue of a comic. That's really nice. But also, maybe it could benefit from, like, cutting down its page count a little and the amount of stories it tries to get out. Maybe.
Yeah, because it's working. Each month it's working with 4 different creative teams.
Well, we go up to 5 in recent issues.
Yeah, 4 to 5.
Yeah. Which is insane. It's just insane. That's not something you should regularly be publishing every single month, especially not with the way that comics are made today. Back in the day, very feasible thing to do, 60, 70 pages per issue. Not as easy to do these days. So, anyway, tangent aside, Dick and Boston are attacked on this train. We end this issue, end the segment of the issue, sort of revealing our monstrous supernatural villain for this particular story, called the Unfallen, and
seems to take over. Which it almost implies it looks like it's taking over the body of this guy that's falling on the railroad tracks, or as after eating him potentially. It's not quite clear, but it is. Oh, it's a Kelly Jones design.
Oh, yeah. It's good shit. It's really good. So, yeah, we'll pick up there next time with that one. But in the meantime, we have Time Jerks. Time Jerks. Which is... So, by Mark Russell, first off. Just worth noting. But yeah, Booster Gold time. Oh my god.
Booster Gold and the Jurassic League.
And the Jurassic League, which I forgot I knew at some point that Jurassic League was in this, but I was like, oh cool, Booster Gold story, that's right. And then he landed in prehistoric times, and now we have Booster Gold in the Jurassic League. I have not read the Jurassic League. I feel like I should, but also, I mean, it's not a hard concept to explain. I feel like I don't need the context, to be honest.
It is. Look, it is the dumb but like perfectly intriguing childish idea of what if Justice League but dinosaurs.
That's all it is. Is it weird that my favorite design here is the Wonder Woman one?
I'm kind of partial to the Superman one myself.
See, the Superman one's fine. I think it's a little too human still.
Yeah.
So like I like the Flash one, I like the Batman one, but I think Wonder Woman is my favorite personally. But anyway, so Booster Gold lands in this time period. Specifically, as he's landing, he knocks this sort of like asteroid
meteor.
off course.
Meteor out of the way. It's not going to cause a problem at all.
Nope.
He finds dinosaurs. He's also Booster Gold, so he's, a dumbass.
Yeah.
Like,
that is correct. That is a true fact. And so he meets the Jurassic League. He leaves. He's like, hey, wow, that was fucking weird. Goes back to the future and sees that because he knocked this meteor off course, the dinosaurs never died out. And so now the Jurassic League is still here in the future. And you can't not love that concept. It's so much fun.
It is. Honestly, though, don't get me wrong. Great. Totally. This is just left field for what the rest of this issue is.
Oh, yeah. Well, especially because next we have the final part of Artemis, the Poison Within. By Delilah S. Dawson. Now, I think it's actually worth noting, before we get into this one, that you got a little more experience with our writer of this story between last issue and this one. We've been doing sort of these book swaps in our free time, you and me, and I had you read a Star Wars book called Rise of the Red Blade by Delilah S. Dawson, and you had said to me as you were reading it that it sort of gave you a bit more context for Dawson's approach to this story.
A lot of how Dawson's life experience informs her writing in a very good way. It's connected a little bit better with the way she characterizes Artemis in this.
Yeah, totally.
Because you don't always. Sometimes it helps to know the author, because even in comics where it's established characters, the author's going to bring themselves to it. A lot of ways is also as well, because this is kind of leading into maybe some stuff for Tom King's Wonder Woman?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I'm wondering... Yeah, I mean, it says literally at the end, continued in the pages of Wonder Woman. So, yeah, I'm guessing we'll see Artemis either in the next issue or very probably the one after, if the solicits originally said it was finishing next time. So, we'll see.
Or maybe even a couple issues down
the line. Well, actually, yeah, because I know the next issue of Wonder Woman coming out is the end of the current arc. So...
Really?
It is, yeah. I know they said that... number 10 or no, number 11 is the start of a new arc. So I mean, I wouldn't doubt if the Artemis stuff here ties directly into that, because it's where we finished off last time. It's Artemis versus the military, and a military that's very anti-Amazon at the moment. If you don't know why, read Wonder Woman, and it's all there, and watch our coverage of Wonder Woman while you're at it, because it's been a fantastic series. And,
it's been a time and a half.
Yeah, that latest issue especially. Cool, man.
Controversial.
Very controversial. But still so good. I really enjoyed it. So check out that. Didn't mean to turn that into a plug, but I did. And also, I gotta be honest, I don't know who these characters are at the end. I'm guessing they're just some Amazons. I probably know them, but you only actually get to properly see them in a single panel. And even then, they're pretty obscured. I don't know. Basically, Artemis hitches a ride with them at the end, and it says "Follow the saga of the Amazons" in the pages of Wonder Woman. So let's see what happens. I guess
it's honestly felt more like an epilogue to the story than anything, if that makes sense.
Oh, totally. Especially because we only actually brought in the events of Wonder Woman at the very end of part 3. So there's that. But yeah,
I feel like Dawson might have originally plotted this out for 3 installments, but then was like, I just need to stretch it just a little to get to 4.
Yeah,
To get, because it's very effective.
I'm very glad the story. I'm very glad the story like had the time to breathe that it had, because I suppose there's definitely a way that you could have condensed it into 3, but I'm glad they at least gave it the full 4 parts, because most stories in Brave and the Bold have been only 3 parts, and so I appreciate this. It's nice.
Yes.
Anyway, on to The Invader, Part 1 by Joshua Hale Fialkov. I'm sorry if I butchered that name. I'm so sorry. Anyway, The Invader. So, another one that I forgot what the solicit said about it. We've got Guy Gardner coming in here.
We've got Guy Gardner. We also have this is the obligatory "we need another Batman" story.
Yeah. Although I do like that. I mean, at least they're not like prioritizing it over, like, say, Nightwing or something. It's just like it's like all the way at the end of the issue here. So that's kind of nice. They don't feel they need to completely ride the Batman high. But yeah, this is a UFO has crashed out in the woods, and Batman is going to investigate that. He's talking to Hal Jordan all through it. He's like, "Hey, I got this crashed ship over here." Batman goes inside it, experiences some hallucinatory bullshit, and experiences once again the death of his parents, because why the fuck not?
And death of Jason Todd.
Yes, and the whole "I will become a bat" shit, and it's all the trauma here. And so Bruce leaves the ship and is like, "Okay, yep, that's a bit much for me. Hal, I need backup." And Hal is like, "Don't worry, man, it's on the fucking way." And next thing you know, Guy Gardner is here. And also, I'm only just now realizing, somehow reading this, that Batman's little protective suit he's wearing has a dome on its head, and the dome has ears.
And little tiny little bat ears.
They do. Oh my god, that's so good. Anyway, in addition to that, Guy Gardner is here, and it's Guy Gardner. Guy Gardner's a dick, and that's why we love him.
Also, there's a classic Roswell alien that is.
Yep.
Power from the ring, from Guy's ring, and just like interfering. And that's our to be continued.
Yep.
Short, sweet, nice start. Gonna need to see
wherever it goes. Yeah. We finished today on Perp Walk by Jason Sean Alexander. But plot by Jason Sean Alexander. The actual script written by Rodney Barnes. But Jason Sean Alexander also did the art on this, and I really love this black and white story.
Yeah, it's clearly like this alternate universe of.
Well, I do love that they feel the need to preface this with like, "Hey, so you don't freak the fuck out. This story is fantasy, but one day it may become real," is what the opening of the story says. So,
I mean, it's about some guy killing the Joker.
Yep.
Because of the classic, why doesn't Batman just kill the Joker and save a bunch of lives?
Mm-hmm. So somebody else does it. And he goes to Batman and says, "Hey, I killed the Joker. Aren't you happy with that?" And Batman's like, "No, fuck you." So he takes him into prison anyway, and locks him up. He brings Joker's body to the police as well, and ends the story by thanking the Joker as he lays on the slab, as it were.
It's oh so subtly romantic.
It's so absolutely. But yeah, it's a great little story. I really like that one. And again, I really like this whole issue. We've had a couple really, really great Brave and the Bold issues in a row here. And,
really strong, surprising. Well, kind of surprisingly, just with how weird these solicits have been and how everything's been out of whack.
So maybe half the time, great stories lining up like this is a complete accident, but hey, it works still. And I certainly won't complain.
They've largely been cultivating very good stories.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just in general, from various creative teams. Which is
so a good time.
It's what you want in a book like this, where you're getting a bunch of stories. And you're paying a little more each month for it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
All right. I think that about does it. But yeah, otherwise, thanks so much for watching, everyone. Check out other Fresh Face one-shots that we do. Obviously, we've already mentioned Wonder Woman by Tom King. That's been great. And Superman by Joshua Williamson, which is currently in the middle of this big crossover event with Action Comics called House of Brainiac, and is also probably going to tie into the summer event coming up. So it's such is the nature of comics. Otherwise, socials of ours will be linked in the description below. Check out the main podcast, Fresh Face Comics. We're talking about Jeff Johns, not Green Lantern, Justice League. We just finished Green Lantern, Jeff Johns stuff. Now we're on Justice League. We're doing Forever Evil. That's coming out soon or tomorrow. Videos are weird. Releasing things is weird. I think it's coming out tomorrow. I think I can get this out tomorrow. I think I can. If not, the podcast episode will have been out yesterday. Anyway, so check all that out. Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, this has been Joey Morgan
and Jacob Licklider.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.